Hey guys, thought while I'm busy at this, I might as well do another video. Just 3 pieces of news that some of you have been asking for in the comments, and just update you on some stuff that's going on at the Bulls. So the first one is, obviously, some of you might have seen Hendrik Cronje's story about Wilco Louw being approached by the Stormers. I know Envia, the Lekker Rugby pod, if you haven't watched it, they had John Dobson on as well, and Dobbo said that Wilco said he'd come to the Cape. He met him in Gqeberha, and Wilco looks like he's going off to the Stormers. Now, I've done a bit of more research on that, spoken to a couple of sources. It seems that is a done deal. It's totally done. So unfortunately for Bulls fans, any hope that you might have had that the Bulls might have been able to convince him to stay is not going to happen. Wilco is going to the Stormers. He'll be at the Bulls this season for another till June next year, and then from 1 July 2026 his contract at the Stormers will start. Now I hear that the contract hasn't been signed yet, so I suppose anything is possible, but from everything I've heard, the Bulls have basically given up. Wilco's told them he wants to go. Of course, his family and his in-laws are all down there in Ceres in the Cape. He's a farm boy from that part of the world. And from everything I've heard is that's certainly a done deal, and that the Bulls have sort of given up on that. That, of course, raises the question what the Bulls are going to do, because Wilco was sensational in getting the Bulls back, their scrum back to the top, and certainly been one of the signings of the season. Him and Kobus Wisse have been the 2 signings for me of the season for the last 2 years for the Bulls. So it's a big loss for the Bulls, and sad to see him go. Glad he's staying in South Africa, and he certainly do well. Apparently the contract, from what I hear, is huge. It's bigger than Frans Malherbe's contract, which is basically the biggest contract at the Stormers. Wilco was offered a lot of money, as the person told me. It was a figure that he couldn't say no to. And this is a professional game. Players have to look after their livelihood, so it's understandable that a good rugby offer will tempt somebody back, especially if they want to go back to the Cape. So I'm no qualms with that, as long as he carries on playing rugby for the Springboks and stays fit. It's great. It's a good signing for the Stormers, and Stormers fans will be very happy about that. So that's number one. Number 2 is there's been a lot of silence about Cameron Hanekom. Now, Cameron Hanekom is, we hope this is going to see him at the Bulls Awards later this week. So hopefully I'll be able to corner him and just get some update on him, on his progress back. But he had a very unfortunate last season. He also tore his last season he had a knee injury in the final of the URC. Then this season he tore his hamstring in the semi-final. So Cameron Hanekom certainly hasn't had a great luck in that. He does have a Springbok cap, luckily. He is somebody that is getting, should be in the box squad, and he would be in the box squad now if he was fit now. But the thing is, nobody's really spoken about how long he's going to be out for, and I've also done a bit of research on that. And of course, remember that injuries are subject to recovery, and there's a rehab process, and often things don't go right, and often players maybe recover a bit quicker or take a bit longer. So I say this with an asterisk because it's the information that I've been given. But for those who want to know, it looks like he's only going to be back end of November. So that means he misses out the whole of the Rugby Championship, and probably, unless something great happens, he's probably going to miss out on the end of year tour as well for the Springboks, and will be back for the Bulls probably sort of early December, late November, early December. I can't see him going on that November tour. Even if he recovers earlier, it'll probably be shorter match practice and being out for almost 6 months. Chances that he's going to get a run there is pretty slim. So I think we're going to probably see him only back in the URC in probably early December, would I'd say would be the first time we'll see that. So that's the first thing. And then the other one is, of course, the long-term injury of Elrigh Louw. Now, I mean, I've been chatting to some of the doctors and some of the medical staff at the Bulls. That injury really was a lot worse than we all expected. There was 2 operations. Elrigh really was close to being career-ending. So the fact that he's even going to play rugby again, apparently is quite a miracle. So I'm very happy for him that they say he will make it back. He's apparently progressing exceptionally well on his rehab. He's doing very well. But the prognosis is that he's only going to be back around about February next year. So that's a long time still. And it's not great for the Bulls. I mean, those are Cameron and him and Elrigh are two players that they desperately would want. Johan Ackerman would want in his squad. But that's the latest update that we have there, that he's only going to be back in February, so the Bulls are going to have to do without him. The Bulls do have pretty decent signings since then. They've got a lot of squad depth, but both those players are superstars, and they are players that any team would want in their URC squads. So yeah, let's hope that those timelines stay the same, or maybe even shorten a little bit if the doctors feel that they're progressing well. But that is the update on those players. So yeah, that's basically it. My phone's shifted just a little bit. It's only around that corner. Let me know what you think. If there's any other players you want to know about, please let me know, and I'll try and answer them in videos like this. But yeah, otherwise, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, man. It's always good trying to keep updated like this, and where I can, I'll always try and find out about certain players, about how they're doing and how their rehab's going. The other one was Gerrit Steyn. Sorry, just before I finish, Gerrit Steyn still on. He's progressing well. He started running last week. So his knee operation, he got an infection afterwards and struggled. It didn't recover as well as he would have, and it took a lot longer. They were hoping to have him back for the start of the rugby championship, but that's now been delayed. But he started running last week. So they didn't give a date when I asked, but it sounds like it's the next couple of weeks that we're going to hear about Gerrit Steyn. I'll also try and see if we can't find out sometime this week about if we do see him at the Bulls Media Player Awards. I'll try and find out there. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll chat soon. Cheers.